Hey, hello, and welcome to the Chris and Veronica show. You have made it. My name's Chris, and this is.
Hey, it's Veronica.
Thanks so much for being here. We have our soundboard still going live and fun. It's a little intro music. Why not?
So what was the purpose of having a soundboard if we're going to make the noises too?
I know, that's what Rico said. Rico, the amazing Chihuahua, is here as well, joining us in studio as a guest person / floofer.
Personality.
Personality,
Yes,
yeah.
because we all need Rico's personality.
We do. And we are also unscripted.
Ooh, oh my.
So yeah, there's the music. Hi, welcome. How are we? How's everything going with you? What have you been up to? Anything fun and exciting?
Yes, we just had our event.
Oh, we were out and peopling today with all sorts of amazing people. It was really fun.
We peopled hard today. That was a great day. I'm really sad that we didn't get to enjoy the beautiful sunny weather today.
I know that, and Girl Scout cookies, because those are a thing. Do you have
Attic?
True. I don't think people can see on the counter behind us, but they probably can. Here, I'll twist a little bit. You can see like on my camera over here. There are some. We've got our cookies in. We have a dealer. It's a whole thing.
I do you know I didn't realize how many people were so into Girl Scout cookies. I'm looking on my Facebook page and my feed, and someone's like, "I need 3 dozen." Like, who in the heck needs 3 dozen Girl Scout cookies?
I don't know. We got like 12 dozen on the counter because there's an auntie, cousin's uncle, sister who's like baby daughter has the thing. And so we just do it. We just get them and it's fine.
Which is your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Ooh, Samoas. I think Samoas are my favorite. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people have an issue with the coconut. I don't. I think coconut's great.
Well, I love coconut, but it's just no. My favorites, if I had to eat them, is I think it's the Thin Mints.
Thin Mints? Yeah.
Yes,
those are classic, you know?
It's the shortbread, the ones that are plain. Or is it sugar cookie?
Shortbread, sugar cookie kind of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm. The
Those
vanilla-y
two.
ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
those are good.
then somebody told me, Veronica, put your Thin Mints in the freezer.
What?
My...
Thin Mints in the freezer. Anybody done that out there? Thin Mints in the freezer? That sounds like fun. That sounds good. It's like bananas in the freezer. It's like ice cream.
And grapes. Last year, somebody turned me on to frozen grapes.
Okay, what does that do?
Oh, I think for me that they make the grapes so much sweeter. And somebody said, you can put them in your wine. I'm like, why? They taste delicious just the way they are.
Right. I've known people that like do frozen grapes, but then they put them in beverages too. And so they'll use those as ice cubes during the summer or something, which would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm so much all about that, but.
Well, it's not because I have a friend that entertains a lot. And for each entertainment, she freezes, I guess, cranberries and a something or other in a square cube, and when it's melting, I was like, okay, but now I've got all this stuff.
You're like, why is my beverage changing colors? I don't get it.
No, that's okay.
This used to be a Sprite, and now there's like all this stuff in it.
It looks like a piece of. I was like, is this pine cone? She's like, it's not pine cone, Veronica.
A pine cone?
Yeah, it was. I forgot what she called it. She's all like, it's for decoration. I'm like, well, can I take it out of my cup?
Oh my gosh.
And the look she gave me, I'm like, it can stay there. That's fine. That's fine.
You're like, I'm fine. I'm not traumatized at all. It's great. Everything is awesome. Don't worry.
Never mind.
Right? It sounds like we're hungry, Veronica. It sounds like we should have eaten something before the podcast. What do you think?
No, I'm not
you're
hungry.
good?
I'm not. I'm just thinking about all these. If this is us unscripted.
Yeah. What's the last meal you had today? What did you eat?
Catfish.
Catfish?
Because I took my son to lunch and we went to Hot Fish House, veteran owned.
Mm-hmm.
And there was catfish, and yes, that was it.
That sounds really good. I had catfish on Friday night.
Ooh.
It was it was super tasty. We went to a whole event thing and it was great and it was super fun. And yeah, catfish and it was really, really good. Yeah. My last meal today was,
yes.
Right. What was it? I don't remember. Some wheat thins and some, what is it? Sbarro or whatever, the hummus.
Oh, okay.
I just had that, a little snack not too long ago.
Ooh.
Yeah. And some M&Ms.
That's okay. That's
a well-balanced diet, Veronica. It's a well-balanced diet. That's what we do, is have a well-balanced diet.
Yes. Balance. That is us. It's Chris Balance Brown. Yes.
All the things. Yeah.
All the things.
That was my thing. So yeah, that was my last meal that I ate. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. We should find somewhere for dinner.
Ooh. Let's have
Later.
Chinese and cake.
Okay. That's a long story. Chinese and cake. Okay, right. So yeah, let's go into it. I mean, why not? That's a good story.
If you ever have a friend that says, come on over for some Chinese food, and they did a switch and bait, because I think that's what that's called, right?
Like
switch and bait.
Bait and switch.
Bait and switch. There we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I come over because, I love fried rice. It can be chicken fried rice or plain fried rice, but I love just the whole thing. And I'm coming in like, yes,
I mean, who doesn't like fried rice? I love fried rice. I love it too.
Yeah. So I'm coming in.
You and I are on the same page with this for sure. Yeah.
And then I get Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah.
They're not on the same realm, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh. So we invited Veronica over to dinner and we sent a message.
I was very mad.
Very mad. And we were like, hey, why don't you come over? We'll get some Chinese food. We just hang out and whatever. And we'll get some cake and whatever. Chinese food and cake. And Veronica shows up, and on the way, I end up picking up burritos instead of Chinese food. You should have seen the look on her face.
Chris. That's who, Chris.
You're welcome.
No.
Much more convenient, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
It was one of those, like, because when I get hangry, like, I have no decision-making processes whatsoever. I'm just literally like, this is how this works.
Now.
I don't care what it is. Like, just put something in my mouth and I'll be fine. Like, don't worry. Yeah.
We are done. Oh, I was so angry. I was so disappointed. All through the meal, I kept complaining. I'm like, what is this? What? It's not Chinese food. That's what this is not.
Yeah. Right. We did make up for it later. We did get Chinese food later, but I think it was, Chinese food later. And then we did teriyaki another time. So we made up for it, and we did get cake. Specifically cake. So yes, everything is good now. But
let me point that out, that it was not with me. So I don't know why Chris is, oh yes, we did. No, it was not with me, not with Veronica. They made it up. I was not made up to. You know what? I am old Chinese and cake. That's.
We're going to have to tell Pocket. Pocket's going to walk through the door at some point during this podcast.
Viewers, if
and
you don't
show
see
up.
Chris anymore, that's because I did not get Chinese and cake.
Yeah. We should do that tonight for dinner. Let's do that. Late night recording session and just get some ordering stuff to the door. Let's do that. Yeah. We'll have Pocket pick it up on the way home.
Yes.
Oh, we are getting into it now. We're thinking, we've got it going. We're firing on all cylinders at this point.
Yes, we should.
I love it.
Let Pocket be the responsible one.
Yeah.
It's your turn now. Let's see how this feels.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if they walk in with Chipotle, there's going to be frijoles flying all over the place.
Yeah. I remember this one time I had tacos in my piano, but that's another story. Not involving anybody in this room or anybody that anybody knows, but tacos in the piano. And then he sold me a car later. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
This is a long thing. Anyway, what else do we want to talk about today? I don't know. We're unscripted. We have no notes. We're just going in,
how
doing
was your
the
week?
thing.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how productive do you think your week was?
So 5 is very productive
Yes.
and 1 is not productive?
Yes.
I guess it depends on how you think about it. I feel like this week being in community was a 5, right? Because it was a lot of community stuff this week. Administration side of things, probably about a 3, depending on where I'm at right now. I finally made it through all of my emails roughly 10 minutes ago. And I still have a bunch of to-dos to be able to do from that. But I'm going to take more time tomorrow to get through some of those. Or I'll take tomorrow off for a part of the day. We'll see. How about you? 1 through 5?
I flip-flopped. Community was very, very low. I want to say 2.
Mm-hmm.
But administrative, all the other things, it was a 5+ if need be. But I need to find balance of being able to, I just need to manage my time better. But as with people that have a small business, our friends guilt us into doing things, right? I never get to see you and let's do lunch. And I'm like, okay, I have friend. A 1 o'clock. I have a 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, but I think the networking, the business, that was great. Being out in community and intentional, that was definitely, I want to say maybe a 2.5.
Yeah, Veronica and I tried to do dinner on Thursday. I had 45 minutes in my schedule, and
Hold on, let me show you what dinner with Chris
There were
was.
photos. It was a whole thing where I'm sitting on one side, Veronica's
Chris.
sitting on the other side. I've got my laptop in between us, and then the entire time my phone is ringing / somebody's calling me. Literally the entire time my phone was buzzing and going off.
You know why
and
I know?
was
Because I was there.
Right. And we were just trying to have like a peaceful dinner. Like my expectation was to be able to sit down with you and actually be like, "Hi, normal human person, how are you?" And it ended up being me on my
Chris
laptop.
just ended up using me for like a human presence. That's really what I was. His human emergency blanket at that moment of, let me suck your energy.
Yeah, which I feel like every once in a while everybody needs. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. No,
it's
but
really
you know
like
what?
one of those things, right?
But you know what was funny was when I ordered the soup, I thought it was chicken chowder. I thought the option was Chipotle chowder or chicken chowder. No. It was Chipotle chicken chowder.
You had a whole combo. You took the first like bite of that, and I was still doing things, but I could viscerally see you across the table being like, "What is this?
Yes,
and how did it get in my mouth?"
I had to look back at the board. I was like,
did I actually order that?
This is why it's spicy.
Yeah, it's one of those places. Like it's a place that's been around for quite a while in Tacoma, and like I walked in and I was like in the middle of everything in my mind, and I was just like, just like a sandwich and a non-alcoholic beer, whatever. And the person was like, "Okay, what kind of sandwich?" And I was like, "That sounds great." Like
Surprise me.
Yeah. They were like, "What?" And I was like, "Turkey something." And they were like, "So like this one?" And I was like, "That sounds great." Yeah, like I don't care at this point. Just put some food in my mouth, you know.
You know, when I was a food service, I was in my other job.
Oh my gosh,
I hate it when people said, "You pick." Like, that would give me so much anxiety.
Yeah, and I've gotten to the point now where my mind is on so many other things that I'm not paying attention to the thing that I order. It's literally just something that goes in my mouth. Like I have not eaten a meal at home in probably 3 weeks.
Yes,
I've eaten out every single meal
because you have to. This is why I laugh again when people say, "I want to start my own business so I could have more time."
Oh no, that is not how that works.
No. One time my husband was like, "I just want to let you know I've seen you for 3 hours this whole week."
Yeah.
Oh, that was my. Oh, got it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Put my phone down.
Yeah, it's why so we had a gala last night and I put it on the calendar as a date night between Pocket and I quite a while ago. Like as soon as it was announced, I sent a message and I was like, "Hey, do you want to do this as a date night?" Right. And so that like made it so that we could actually have intentional time together. We could go there together. We could leave together. We could be there together, you know, and at most like community events, right, you're just going to like hop in and do stuff if people ask, right? And we both do that anyway. Everybody, you do that. I do that. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Not us.
Yeah. But that's what you do, right? You do that because that's what community does when you're at like large scale events and everybody knows everybody. Like, oh, can you watch the kids so they don't go in the road or whatever because they're going outside to get some pizza? Like, sure, yeah, happy to do that. Those kinds of things where you just kind of do them, you know?
I know, and I think that's where the boundaries, it's important because I have to remind myself, one, my spouse is a homebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They would prefer to be gaming, and I would prefer to be gaming too, but I know there's a business to run. So I always have to be mindful of, well, why would you invite your spouse if you know they're not going to enjoy this time, right? But let's do something different, and I have to be intentional about that too.
Yeah. And for my spouse, because this is one that's in community and they would know people that were there,
Oh,
it's
that's
also
good.
almost like a
Yes.
social thing. Even though there's like 300 people in the room, if you know 5 or 10 people, like you're good.
Or like Chris, 50 or 100.
Or 300, whatever. It's fine. And, you know, but yeah, it allows that intentional time where you can actually say like, oh, we're having a date day. We're doing this. It's a date night and a whole thing, you know? So yeah, I think that creating time to be able to spend time with your like spouse, significant other, like others.
Or your
whoever that
friends
is.
too, the ones
Yeah.
that feed you, right? That remind
Nourish
you.
your soul
Yes.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Today you met two of my best friends, Tanya and Gwen. I've known them for over 15 years. And they're the
I've been
ones that-
knowing them a while.
and they pick on me.
They do.
Sweet, innocent me.
Yeah. All 3 of us gang up on Veronica
They
too.
do. They do. And I said,
It's our job.
No, we're not doing this today. And
Yes,
they
we are.
still do it.
We do. It's a whole
No,
thing.
but it's, they're the ones that I can go a month without seeing them, and I can say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. sure, when? And they
Yeah.
were there to help me out.
Yeah, it's like you're like ride or die folks and
Yes,
stuff. And I did a
yes.
launch of a thing like earlier this week, and I had some ride or die people show up where you just send it out and they're like, "Yep, let's do it,"
I
right?
liked
And
Kyle. He
so
suits your personality. He's a lot more, well, in my mind, I would think there's Christopher and there's Kyle. I think one of you has to be responsible at one time. You both can't be irresponsible.
it's like you and me.
Yeah.
You and I can't both be like responsible and irresponsible at the
no.
same time. Like that doesn't happen. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yes.
So we're just hanging out, having fun. Pocket just walked through the door. So if you're on video, you can probably see them walking through the back door, sneakily trying to come in without making noise. But of course, Rico gave up the ghost and was like, "There's somebody else here."
Yes.
So good job, Rico. Thanks for protecting us from that mean back door.
Intruder alert!
Right?
Intruder!
Get him! Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're all very excited. Our tags, our wagging tails are tagging whales. Something. Yeah.
She sells seashells.
By the seashore. Yeah. We should do some tongue twisters. Yeah.
No.
What else do we want to talk about?
No,
Pocket's
we do
wearing
not.
a green shirt. It's really cute. We love a good green shirt.
We love Pocket, period.
Right? I know. You tell him, Rico. You yes. It's you tell the world.
We're going to like, yes, Pocket. So what do you think about
a lot of
your
things.
down?
I think about a lot of things, Veronica.
What do you think about when you want your downtime for you? Do you ever ask for alone time? What do you think about those people that say if you have to be alone, then you shouldn't be in a relationship?
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Let's go to that little zipper and unpack all of that. Do I get my like own time and alone time, right? Like, yes, right? And I intentionally create that too because I'll do like walks on my own, right? It doesn't mean that I'm not doing things because a lot of times I'll be like recording things into my phone by doing like voice to text and getting stuff and downloading it out of my mind so that other people can work on them. So it's not just in my head, right? And then, other types of downtime for me, because like that to me is relaxing, right? I'm able to actually download that information from my mind. Some people still call that working, right? But for me, I think of that as a way to be able to relax because it creates it creates space in my mind for these things, right? And then on the downtime side of things, I mean, I was just saying earlier, like in the last like 4 days or so, each night I've had less than like 5 hours / 6 hours worth of sleep in each of them, just because I've been bookending both sides of it with events and then like early morning like calls and stuff like that too. So that's been a little bit more like challenging, at least for the last like 4 days or so. But I am setting out intentional time, and I've gotten together with a couple different ownership groups that I'm very involved with right now to say, hey, I'm creating space over the next 3 to 5 weeks to be able to focus on this, this, and this. And this is what it looks like for me to be able to create that time. And I think that like time management and planning for it, knowing that I've gotten to a point of I'm at the top, right? I need to narrow it down, like bring it down just a little bit so that I have intentional time that I can create in my own mind and my own space for my business so that I can take care of my clients appropriately. Especially the clients that I do like one-on-ones with for a long period of time. So most of the people that I get together with will want to do, an hour, like a week or something, right? I'm a lot when like in that hour. I know it's a whole thing. I have a scale of like underwhelmed, whelmed, and overwhelmed. How do you feel? And I usually ask that about like 90% of the way through any meeting with somebody. And usually within an hour, it's either like whelmed to overwhelmed. And I don't like to go beyond that, right? Because otherwise it makes it impossible to process those things. But there are certain points where we need to really dig into something, really get into it, and know how to be able to take the next steps and everything else. And so with those, I'll do like a 6-hour session with people, obviously some like breaks and stuff in there. But usually by the end of that, they're like, okay, that's it, right? But that means for me, the planning leading up to it, the emotional availability leading up to it, and then the reintegration for me into everything else to keep my mind on my other clients is so important. So I need to make sure that I'm intentionally telling people that I am taking that space. So Veronica, over the next 5 weeks, I'm taking intentional space to be able to create that so that I can take care of those folks appropriately.
As you should. And I think that was one of so I had a friend and their spouse ask, Veronica, how would you deal with this? Because I'm feeling like when they're choosing to go by themselves, I don't get to see them because both of our work schedules, one
Yeah.
person travels a lot, the other person is a small business owner. They said, I want to be there. And their comeback was, I need that time alone so I can recharge, so I can be a better person for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes back to how we communicate that.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest thing, because once that person stated that, they're like, oh, well, why didn't you ever say that? And rightfully so, they said, I shouldn't need to. If I say I want to do this by myself,
Then go
But-
do it, right? Yeah.
yes, but I think it's respectful. Like, hey, I love you. I'm not running away from this. I just need space so that I can recharge.
Yeah, it's like mental breathing room. It's physical breathing room.
I like that,
whatever
mental
that looks
breathing
like, right?
room.
Because sometimes
Yes.
your mind just needs to take a sigh, like just okay, like these are the
Yes.
things. For me, usually that's when I take it to the next level rather than stopping. So at that point, I know that I am not overwhelmed, but I'm at the point where I am at capacity in my mind, which means something needs to change and change for the better. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm taking that time off, because it usually means that I'm doing everything that I need to be doing in order to get to that next level. And so if I stop, then the momentum stops as well. And I don't want that to happen. So instead, I'll continue to go and then create intentional time over a longer period to be able to integrate all of it together to then take it and plow it through on the next one.
Yes.
Because that idea of I've been sprinting for a little bit and now I've got to even out my schedule, reprioritize everything, reset
And rearrange.
replan. Right?
Yes, because
Mhm.
now you're going because you're trying to start all these projects. Well, now that they've started, you're not so dedicated on this one thing. For example, I intentionally had 5 events. 5 events in February, and we're starting March.
Yeah.
And I pushed myself to see what I can and cannot do. I realized what needed to change for down the road. I want to get to that point where we're having 5 different events, right? Maybe 4 with 5, an occasional special, X, Y, and Z. So I intentionally pushed myself, and I was really surprised that certain things that fell off and fell in the cracks that didn't get done, I was really surprised with myself, because I was thinking, wow, you're usually better prepared. What happened? But there were teachable moments. Yeah.
And there are times when things fall through the cracks and stuff too. I think that for me, I keep track of things, and I'll say to people not necessarily say to them, do you want to set up an hour to be able to do these things? But rather, I have an hour at this point. Would you like to be able to be on the calendar for it? Because if I have an extra open hour and I recognize that there's an opportunity, I'll put it on the calendar.
You and I, hey, I have this open. You want to do this? Sure.
Yeah.
Let me look at my calendar.
Yeah, it's a Saturday at near dark, but let's go do this thing, right? Schedule it, because we scheduled that roughly a week and a half or something ago in order to do this right now, right? And so that's how far things are out in order to
See
get
people
things
when
done.
I tell them, if you're not on my calendar, right? Or what about next week? Listen, I am booked 3 weeks out or 2 weeks out, especially on the weekends, because that's when events go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the idea of being an entrepreneur / business owner and then being busy, right? Not necessarily a good thing either, right? And on that side, I don't think of us as busy in that way. We're saying you can't get to us or whatever. What I'm saying is I'll take the time for the things that are important, and I'll make time for the things that are important while still taking care of everything that needs to get done, even if it means bringing in additional help or something like that to be able to get those things done. So yeah, time management. It's a whole thing, Veronica.
Ooh, look at us talking about time management. Ta-da!
Look at
We know
unscripted.
I know. Look, now we know what the title of this episode is going to be.
Time management, unscripted, and foods of some kind.
Sure.
What did we talk about earlier?
Sure.
I never remember.
Yeah. Thin mints.
Thin mints, frozen thin mints, and
ooh, frozen grapes. It's a thing.
yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
we both look at each other.
20 plus minutes. Okay. We're going to get into the next episode. So, all right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us, watching us. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on the socials, chrisandveronica.com. My name is Chris, and this is...
Hey, it's Veronica.
Check us out, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye.